Hello and welcome to Sunday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where it wouldn't be a week on the channel in recent times without there being a puzzle by the great Marty Sears. Now, for about the last 10 weeks, the puzzles by Marty Sears have been the Rat Run puzzles, but that series has finished, or is at least on hiatus until the autumn, although autumn has definitely arrived here in the UK. But lots of you have been recommending a puzzle by Marty called 12 Spots, which has only 2 stars out of 5 for difficulty. It's a 6x6. I did read the rules before I turned on the webcam. They're very unusual indeed, but I'll read them to you in a moment or two's time. The comments on Logic Masters are just, as usual, eulogistic. Marty has one of those brains that is, I think, quite unique, and what a gifted individual he is. Anyway, we'll get to the puzzle in a moment or two's time. I have to reveal I'm feeling a little bit jaded today. 2 reasons. Firstly, I got very little sleep due to incredible thunderstorms overnight. The thunder actually shook the house. You could feel the house shaking. It was really, really dramatic, I suppose. And that was after a long evening. We had a dinner last night in London. I actually met up with Mark, but also some of the editors, well, all of the editors of the Magpie Crossword magazine, which is a magazine that Mark and I started, it must be getting on for 20 years ago. Well, we actually took over the magazine from Mike Rich. It used to be called Tough Puzzles, I think, or Tough Crosswords. We changed the name. It's been the Magpie ever since we were involved in it. And it basically features puzzles that are the hardest cryptic crosswords in the world, even more difficult than the famous listener crossword, which appears in the Saturday edition of the Times each month. Anyway, so we had a dinner last night just to reacquaint with old friends, and it was very nice indeed. And there was a little bit of alcohol imbibed. So that explains my slightly croaky voice and my slightly foggy head today. Anyway, I just thought I'd tell you that to get my excuses in early. What else can I tell you about? Let's think. Over on Patreon, we've got our Sudoku competition running for the month of September, which is Hollywood sandwiches, all themed on famous sandwiches that have appeared in the films over the years. You may not think there are any, but there are. And the Sudoku puzzles that they've inspired. So lots of you are enjoying that pack, and that's great to see. So do check it out if you haven't had a look at it already. And I've got birthdays to do, quite a few birthdays to do today. We'll start with Chris from your best friend Jake. Now, Jake, I know, has recently moved away for work. And Jake wrote to us, Chris, just to say he misses you. And it's your birthday today, and he wanted to wish you happy birthday. So, Chris, I hope you have an absolutely great day today, with chocolate cake, of course. Next, Gabby. It's your birthday today. And I know this because your partner, is it Thales? I hope I'm saying that correctly. I know the two of you are both from Brazil, but I think Thales is currently in Canada, I want to say. And I think the two of you are together today. And I know, Gabby, you're not having chocolate cake, but there might be chocolate on the side as part of your birthday party. Anyway, Gabby, I hope you have an absolutely great day today. And thank you for watching. Next, Gemma. Gemma, it's your birthday today, and I know this because your partner Micah wrote to us, and the two of you watched together during your spa nights. That sounds intriguing. Is a spa night when you get a treatment or something like that? That sounds very enjoyable. Now, by the time you get this, because of time zones, I might appear to be a day late with your birthday wishes, Gemma, but I'm not really. I am recording this on your birthday, and I hope it's a great day today, obviously. Next, Sarah. Sarah, you've turned 18 today, and I know this because your parents, Joel and Monica, wrote to us, and I think you're in, is it Raleigh? Do we say Raleigh, or do we, yeah, it must be Raleigh, North Carolina. I think I've flown into Raleigh when I went on holiday once to Pinehurst, which is a beautiful place. But Sarah, I hope you have an absolutely great day today. Your parents wanted to let you know that they loved you and they hope you have a wonderful senior year. And then finally, Wendy, down there in Perth in Western Australia. Wendy, you've turned 60 today, and I know this because your husband Steve wrote us the most lovely email. Well, I know Steve has been battling cancer, and he described in his email how you've been there, Wendy, every step of the way with him, and I think, fingers crossed, that treatment has gone very well, so that is great to hear. Wendy, I was sorry to hear about your father earlier this year, but Steve said that you are the most outstanding woman and by far the best thing that has ever happened to him. So some nice words on your birthday, Wendy. I hope you have a great birthday, and I hope you have an enormous slice of heavily iced chocolate cake. And with that said and done, let's turn our attention to what Marty Sears has got in store for us with 12 spots. I presume there are 12 sort of blue spots that we've got to deal with in the puzzle. So these are the rules. Normal 6x6 Sudoku rules apply. So what that means is that we have to put the digits 1 to 6 once each into every row, every column, and every one of these sort of bold rectangles, these things. Each of these has to contain the digits 1 to 6 once each. Then we have to draw 6 lines, each with a different turquoise spot at both ends. Each line must occupy at least 3 cells and may move orthogonally and diagonally. Lines may not branch, cross each other, or share cells. So we've got to join up the line or join up the dots somehow. Each line must occupy at least 3 cells. Draw 6 lines. Yeah, okay, so my reading of the rule here is that the minimum, you could have a line, I think, let's try and draw a line in, that's just like that. When it says each line must occupy at least 3 cells, I think this line does occupy 3 cells. Yeah, and it's got a turquoise spot at either end of it, so I think that's legitimate. In the back of my mind, I wondered whether it was saying, you know, it had to be more like that. So there were 3 different line cells that were different from the spot cells, the blue spot cells. But I don't think that's how I meant to read the rules. I might clarify that as and when we work through the puzzle. If we just can't do it, or if there's an ambiguity, we'll try and spot that as we go, and then I'll clarify it later on. Now, the next paragraph of rules says each line is a same difference line. Every pair of adjacent cells, so if that was the line, every pair of cells along a line has the same difference, and this is its difference value. Every line has a different difference value, and the digits in a cage sum to the total in the corner. So those 3 cells sum to 6, those 2 to 11, and those 2 to 8. But let's just try and understand what it means by a same difference line. So if the difference along this line was 2, and this square was a 5, then this square could be a 3, and that square could be a 1, and that would work. 5, 3, 1, they all have the same difference. It couldn't go 5, 3, 5, could it? Because of Sudoku rules, I'm noticing as we look at that. But anyway, they are all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And I have absolutely no intention of looking at these blue lines first up. I'm going to firstly do that because that's a 6 gauge with 3 different digits in it. Must be 1, 2, and 3. The 11 gauge must be a 5, 6 pair. The 8 gauge is, it can't be 1, 7, can it, in a 6x6 puzzle? So that's either 2, 6 or 3, 5. And each line occupies at least 3 cells. So there are certain sort of geographies that are not going to work here. So what we can't do is that. Because if the line, if the dots are meant to be at the line ends, that line would not be of 3 cells, irrespective of how we interpret that rule. So we can presumably do something like that. I'm using the pen tool here to draw these lines in. If you're using the software that we use, which is fantastic, and you don't seem to have the option to draw lines, the way to get that option is to click the cog icon, the settings thing, and enable the pen tool. I always have all the options available to give me as many things, so I can have letters, I can have lines, I have everything enabled all the time. But some people don't, or if you're new to the channel, the default setting in Sudoku Pad, which is the software, might be that there's no pen tool, but that is how to enable it. So I can do the same thing here, can't I? The same thing here. There is a sort of square of dots there, so none of these. Oh, hang on. Do I have to put a line into every cell? Because that would be interesting. Draw 6. No, maybe not. It says each line must occupy at least 3 cells. So 3 times, and there are 6 lines, so 18 cells, but there are 36 cells in the puzzle. So okay, so perhaps we don't have to fill all the cells, although it doesn't say that we won't end up doing that, but I don't think the rules force us to do that. So, oh no, but we can go diagonally, can't we? So I was about to say that one has to do that and that one has to do that, but that's not true. Okay, this one I can say how that's going to move, because if that goes diagonally, that won't work. That's too short a line, so that one must go there. So what's the difference thing? The difference is difference value. So the difference value here is either going to be 1 or 2, isn't it? Between those 2 squares. So in fact, that could just be a line. I'm not saying it is, but I can see how it could be. If it was just a 1, 2, 3 triple, the difference along the line would be 1 each time. Every line has a different difference. That's oh, hang on, that's what? That doesn't work. Hang on. I've misunderstood something quite fundamental here. I've got 6 different lines, but I've only got the digits 1 to 6. So if I do a maximum difference, that's a difference of 5. I can't do a 6 difference. What? I can have a 1 to 6 difference. That's a difference of 5. So I can have a difference of 1, a difference of 2, a difference of 3, I can have 5 different differences, but I need 6 different differences. Every line has a different difference. Oh, I see. So I'm going to have a line that has no differences. Ah. Right. That's an awkward creature indeed. Right. So, okay, sorry. So what I've now understood the rules better, and because each line has to have a different difference, I think the only way we can achieve that for 6 different lines is if one of the lines has no difference along it. But that line, I mean, that is so anathema to Sudoku, isn't it? To have a line that has no... So it might be a string of 1s. How are we ever going to do that if it's at least 3 3 digits long. There's going to have to be a diagonal line in this puzzle. No, I was about to say there it is, but it's not there, is it? Because this, if it was there, this cell would be the same as this cell, would be the same as this cell. That would break Sudoku. So we need a line that goes into 3 different boxes, and where the dotted diagonals are... No, that one doesn't work either, because these two are going to be the same. There it is. That one would work. That one would work because each of these squares can be different. But there might be other opportunities. So let's just... we found one that may work. Yeah, I mean, it's going to have to be some variant on this, isn't it? It's going to have to clip a middle box, but only just clip it. So I don't think there are any others. Yeah. Oh, actually, no. What it could do... No, it could do that as well, which I haven't... I mean, that is still clipping a middle box. Oh, sorry, it won't let me draw it. But that, something like that. Oh, it won't let me draw it. It keeps going for too far. But you see what I mean. Something like that would work. So, no, that wouldn't work. So that would have worked. But unfortunately, there's no dot here. No, okay, I'm not seeing another one. So I think that is a line in this puzzle. And oh Marty, that's beautiful. I know, I've got digits. Look. Oh, this is absolutely beautiful. Right. I know what those digits are. Because these digits are all different. So that means if the green cell, all these 3 digits are the same. So they can't be 1, 2 or 3, because then you couldn't put that digit in the 6 cage. And this digit can't be 5 or 6 by Sudoku. So those digits are all 4s. And that is really... it's just classic Marty Sears. And and that sentence is about as big a compliment as you can give to a piece of logic in these Sudoku puzzles. Right, okay. Well, if you've got this arrangement of 4s, where do you put the remaining 4s? There. There we go. We've got all the 4s done in the puzzle. Boom. Ah, now I want my line back. Put my line back in. Right, because, yes, that is useful immediately. Because how does this line grow? It can't, we're not allowed to cross lines, are we? So that has to go up there. These 2 squares are a 5, 6 pair by Sudoku. Actually, maybe I should think about Sudoku. We've got 1, 2, 3 triple in column 3. And that's a 1, 2 or a 3. Just by this box. There's definitely 5 and 6 in those squares. We're going to... What are the other difficult differences then? There's going to be a line that is going to be a difference of 5 line. So that line is either going to go 1, 6, 1, or it's going to go 6, 1, 6. Which is... actually, that's not even difficult, is it? Could just go 6, 1, 6 like that. That's actually quite surprising. So I'm a little bit unsure about how to... Okay, so we probably have to think harder about the nature of differences then. So we found a zero difference line. There's going to be a line with a difference of 1. And that feels like it's going to be incredibly unconstrained. Because that could be this line, 1, 2, 3. Lines with a difference of 2 preserve their parity along them, don't they? Because if you had say there was a dotted, say this was a 2 and this was the difference of 2 line, then this obviously is going to retain the parity of this, because it's going to be 2 different from it. The same is true of a difference of 4 line. That's also going to preserve parity. In fact, it's a stronger constraint, isn't it? A difference of 4 line, because a difference of 4 line, if the digits on the line, say, started 1, 5, the digit after the 5 is always going to have to be a 1 again, because the difference is too big. Whereas if you had a difference of 2 line that started with a 2, you could go 2, 4, and then the next digit could be 6 or back to 2 again. But a difference of 4 line is a different beast. That's going to have to oscillate. So in fact, the difference of 5 line oscillates, the difference of 4 line oscillates. Now the difference of 3 line, 6, 3, 6 again, the difference of 3 line oscillates. Right, so only the difference of 1 and the difference of 2 lines don't oscillate digits. Okay, so perhaps, I'm wondering then if you could force that, just as a simple example, if you forced that pattern for some reason, then you know that because these can't be the same digit, this line couldn't be a difference of 3, 4, or 5 line. Yeah, this line, does that have to join to this? Oh, no. Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I know that's a series of exclamations that contradicted one another. But this line, this dot, it can't join. It has to go this way somehow, because it's either going to go there. In fact, maybe it can't go there. No. Oh, sorry. This is much more straightforward than I'd realised. This one can't go there, because if it does, we know it's at least a length 3 line, so its next digit would have to be there in order to not bump into other lines. And now what on earth is the difference along this line? The difference between these first 2 squares is 1, but this cannot be a difference of 1 from this. So that's impossible. So this one goes there, and the difference on this line is now at least 2. But that still means... Okay, let me try the other line of attack I was thinking about, which is that this dot does not go this way. Because if it did... Oh, no, it could. No, it could. It could go down there again. Sorry, okay, I'm wrong. But what it can't do then... No, this is what I'm about to say is true. It couldn't join to any of... Let's use a different colour. It couldn't join to any of those dots. Because if it did, you'd have the wrong count of dots in the sort of northwest half of the grid. Because this one... Let's go through it. If this one joined to that one, which it could do by a very circuitous route, could do a join up there. You can see we'd isolate 3 dots. Well, that can't work. And you can't get these 3 dots. You could connect 2 of the dots to one another, but the other one would have to cross a line in order to get to dots down here, and that's not allowed. So this doesn't join to that. So this joins to that one, or that one. Now if this one comes this way, it's going to hypothecate one of these dots. This one will hypothecate another dot, and you're going to have a dot here that needs to get out. It needs to cross the boundary, and there's no way it can. There's no way it can, because once this one takes this square, once this one takes this square, you can't then cross the boundary from the northwest to the southeast portion of the grid. That doesn't prevent this one, annoyingly, it doesn't prevent this one taking this square. But we do know that this one does take this square at some point in its journey. So this one and this one are sort of connected, although they might not be directly connected. So we're either going there, we're either going there or we're going there. And somehow or other, these are resolving themselves into okay, so can you join those 2 together then? Certainly not directly, because we've put an X in. I feel you can. Although actually now I'm looking at it, as a practical matter, I don't think it is very easy to connect these lines up. If that's... Because, well, what we've learned already is that parity is preserved on the difference of 2 and the difference of 4 line. And we've learnt also that the difference of 5 line and the difference of 3 line oscillate. So they're going to go something like 6-3, 6-3, 6-3, or 5-2, 5-2, 5-2. They don't go 6-5. So this would have to be the difference of 1 line. And it feels very difficult to me to make this work. If that's... No, because it's quite interesting. I think the 4s not being available really break this up. Let's just explore this. There may be an elegant mathematical way of proving this, but the way I'm seeing it is just that it's very hard to do, in the sense that if you're in this world where the 5 is at the top and the 6 is below, we know we're trying to construct a difference of 1 line. So how do we do it? Well, the 5 now, it can't go directly to the 6, and it can't get to a 4, so it needs to go to a 6, which would have to be in one of these 2 positions, and couldn't be here, so it would be here. So the line would start like that, and then it has to go, well then it can't go here, so it can't immediately end, so it needs to go to a 5. Where does it get a 5 from? It can't go there, because that's going to... If this is a 6, this is a 2. That's just impossible, isn't it? There's just no way it can get back here. But what we haven't done is to rule out 6, 5. So, but the 6 would have to go to a 5. Where does it get a 5 from? It would have to get a 5 from there. And now we need to get to a 4, which we can't use, or a 6, which this is just not available. Okay, all right. So, right, I mean, this actually is not very easy. That might mean I've missed a trick here in terms of sort of the relatively low difficulty rating of the puzzle. But I'm now, I think, able to say that this one and this one never join up, even by some circuitous route. Now, we know this one, I don't know how it does it, but it's going down here somewhere. It's not attaching to these. So this one, well, yeah, and this forces it then, because this one has to connect. We've just worked out it doesn't connect to this one. It can't connect to that one, because if it did, however it did it, whoopsie, that's not how it would do it. Let's say it did it like that. You can see this one and this one now can't connect without crossing that barrier we've just drawn in. So actually, now we're getting somewhere. This one joins to this one. Let's make those purple. These two join together. We'll make those green. Now, also, this one we know went like that, didn't it? And now it can't bump into green, so it goes like that. Oh, this is right. Now. This, I want to say, has to be a difference of 2 line. Have I not understood? Because we worked out the difference of 3, difference of 4, and a difference of 5 line oscillate, which would mean that this digit and this digit would be the same. Because we're going to go something like high, low, high, but the high digit. So if this went 6, 3, 6, these would be the same. This can't be a difference of 1 line. So this has to be a difference of 2 line. Yeah, okay. And if it's a difference of 2 line, how on earth is it a difference of 2 line? If this is a 6, it's not. This would be too far. Marty, it's just absolutely beautiful. Now this can't be 5 because it would clash, so it must be 1. We're on an odd parity along a difference of 2 line. This digit is not a 1. These digits are not 3. This is a 3 by Sudoku. The purple line must have the same parity, so that's a 5. That's a 6. It looks like we're having to go 3, 5 here, but there may be other options. Well, no, the next digit must be 3. It must be, and that must be that 3. So that we're definitely doing that. And then the next digit could be 1. No. Where does this get a 1 from? It can't get 1. There's nowhere close enough. This can't be a 1. So it must get a 5, and the only 5 it can get. Yeah, the only 5 it can get is that one. So actually that is a length 5 line. The length 6, well, not the length 6, this line up here, which begins with a 6, is, well, what have we now had? We've had the difference of 0, and we've had the difference of 2. So either this is a difference of 1 line, which it's not. I say that glibly, but I don't see how it can be. It could go to a 5 here, but then it would need to go to... No, it's not. This is what we worked out before. It can't be a difference of 1 line. So this is an oscillating line. It's a difference of 3, 4, or 5 line. And that makes sense, doesn't it? Although I can do some Sudoku here for a moment or two. That might be helpful. These digits are 2, 5, and 6. That's definitely not... This is a 6. I'm forced to do Sudoku. No, this is... I don't think this can be that. Oh, no. Okay, no, it does work, doesn't it? It's an oscillating line. Which means it's going to go high, low, high, low, high, low. So this can't be 5, because then the 2 high digits wouldn't be the same, which they must be. So this must be a 2, which means this must go to a 2. Well, if it goes there, it doesn't then go to a 6, so it goes 2, and then 6, and then 2. It's just forced. It's so brilliant. It really is. That's a 3, that's a 5. This is a 1, 2 pair. This is a 3, 5, 6 triple. Now, can we do this? That's not 6, so that's not 2. That's not 5, so that's not 3. 1, 2, 5 over here. 3, 6 over here. Right, and somehow now we've got to work out how to divide the rest of this. So we haven't had the difference of 1 line still, but this is a difference of 4 line. Right, so we've had the parity preserving lines because we've had the difference of 0 line, we've had the difference of 2 line, we've had the difference of 4 line. So the other lines are a difference of 1 line, which is going to be a higgledy-piggledy line, a difference of 3 line, which is going to oscillate, and the difference of 5 line, which is going to be the extreme line. So that's going to be something like 1, 6, 1, 6, 1. That's interesting, isn't it, as a possibility? That line could just do that. This line is not the difference, the massive difference. In fact, what line is this? Doesn't that have to be the difference of 1 line? The only lines I've got left are difference of 5, difference of 3, which this can't be, and difference of 1. So this is the difference of 1 line. Which makes me want to say that this is its final digit. Interestingly, if that was the final digit, that couldn't start with a 2, could it? Because then we'd sort of bounce back to the same value here. So that would also resolve the order of this if the final cell on this line is that one. But these, I'm actually going to fully pencil mark if you don't mind. I just want to think about this. So if this is the difference of 1 line. So this is either a difference of 3 line. Well, if it's a difference of 3 line, it's an oscillating line. And it would have to begin... No, it can't be. How? Well, no. Right, okay, so this is where we should look. This dot here. Because what we can't do... This just can't be a difference of 3 line. Even if we go via the mechanism, even if we do this, which is possible. Obviously these two squares can be 3 apart. They could be a 2-5 pair. But then we know we're in an oscillating 2-5 world, so the next digit should be a 2-5, and it wouldn't be. So actually, this line here is not the difference of 3 line. We know this line at the bottom is the difference of 1 line, so this is the difference of 5 line, which means it's oscillating 1s v 6s, and therefore that corner digit is a 1. This is sensational. 1, this is 1, this is 2. Oh, well, no, I thought I was going to get more digits there. Well, that's obviously a 6 now. And indeed, the line just goes straight there, straight there. Now it needs to get to a 6, which can't be here, because obviously we've used the 6 in the column. In fact, that digit is a naked single. That's a 5, so that's a 3. Now, can we do more Sudoku? If we're forced to, we might be able to. Yes. There's something going on in this column. That's a 2, 5, 6 triple. So this is the 3, which is what I thought it when we put the 1, 2, 3 in here. Okay, so the next digit for this one is actually it's well, actually, hang on. Yeah, so which dot ends this 1, 6 triple or 1, 6, 1 oscillator? It's not that, that's a 3. It's not that, that's a 3. It's not that, that's the difference of 1 line. Now, if it's that, I don't think it can be that, because if it was that, and this line went 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, although that might not break Sudoku, it corrals this line into a place where it never gets to a dot, because it would have to cross that line, wouldn't it, to get out. So I think that must join there, and therefore we must go 6, 1, 2, 1. Now, oh, I see. Look, I could have done. Well, that allows me to do this. Am I going to finish the puzzle now? Well, I'm going to finish the puzzle, but I haven't done the lines, which is really strange. Oh, no, it is very... Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. I was like, I've messed it up. But this is not now it's not 1, 2, 3, is it? So this line can't join to that with a difference of 1, so it must join to the 2. And now these are the same, and we've got to oscillate with a difference of 3, I'm pretty sure. That's because it was the odd numbered differences that we hadn't got. We had the difference of 4, we had the difference of 2, we've had the difference of 0, we've had the difference of 5, we've had the difference of 1, it's the difference of 3. What's 3 different from a 3? It's a 6, so we must go there, and then we must close like that. That is so... It's really interesting how that all sort of resolved itself. Let me just check. I have got 6 different lines. I think that must be right. Yes. 270 people have solved it. I mean, well, I'm not surprised. Basically, whenever a Marty Sears puzzle pops up, everybody should just solve it as quick as you can, because they are just magnificent. That was so... I loved the beginning of that. I loved the fact that you had to find a 0 difference. At first, I thought I misread the instructions or not understood them. Oh, now... Yeah, I mean, there's no earthly way we could have extended any of these lines any further. So I might just fiddle with the rules slightly later on. Anyway, let me know how you got on with this one in the comments. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.